What is up, Bold Nation, and welcome to today's video, guys. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that I've actually been seeing a lot of you guys kind of struggling with. And if you're not struggling with it, hopefully this helps you clear out and make better decisions when putting a build or a weapon together. And that is blood loss versus occult. Some people say put occult on a weapon, some people say put blood loss on a weapon. But do you really know what weapon actually benefits from blood and what weapon benefits from occult and which one's better depending on what type of build you're using? Well, today I hope to clear all of that up for you guys and give you the better understanding so when you finish the video, you know what to put on what particular weapon. So this sounds like something you're definitely interested in. Thank you, baby, greatly appreciated. And let's dive in and talk about blood loss versus occult. So let's take a look at a couple of weapons here. So I have two of the same weapons, guys. We have a scavenger occult curved sword, and we have another scavenger blood curved sword. Now these are all scaled to plus 25, so they're both identical weapons. The only difference is that I have one with occult affinity and I have one with blood loss affinity. As you guys see right here, this one's occult curved and this is blood curved. So what exactly are we seeing this? Because you're noticing a couple things when I'm doing this. Number one, let's talk about the most noticeable thing here, which is the physical attack power. As you guys notice, if I have the occult sword here, you're going to notice that there is a big drop off when I go from blood to occult. You're going to see that I have 225 and then I got 215 here and a 167. So you guys are noticing that a little bit right there. In addition to that, I also wanted you to notice that the guard damage also changes just a little bit, and we're also getting a change when it comes to the attribute scaling. So let's start off with the most simplest thing and explain to the main attribute affinity. So we'll start out with the attribute scaling. So occult will always scale off arcane. So if you are running a build that has a lot of points into arcane, then you're going to be getting a lot more damage when you're running the weapon with occult affinity. As opposed to if you're running with blood loss, then you're not going to be using the arcane ability that much. So when I say the arcane ability, you're not going to be getting the benefit of the arcane buff that you get if you run an occult weapon. Because when you run the blood affinity, you're only adding to the blood buildup, and a small amount of that goes into the arcane scaling. So you're going to notice an increment in your physical output, but you're not going to notice that much of an increment when it comes to the attribute scaling, and of course to the benefit of having that attribute scaling off arcane. So now that you understand exactly what the two differences are, let's talk about what weapons actually benefit from you guys being invested on a certain attribute, right? So if you want to invest more on arcane, or do you want to invest more on strength or dexterity? Because usually when people are running a blood buildup, they'll spend a lot of points into dexterity, and their weapon might not be doing that amount of damage because that weapon is mostly based off an arcane scaling, and that's where the two of them actually get mixed up. So when we take a look at these two different weapons, is what exactly do we want to pay attention to? So there's the two things that are going to kind of make you decide if you should go with occult or if you should go with blood buildup. Usually weapons that already come with blood buildup, for example, this weapon right here, will tend to hit a little bit harder if you go the occult route. The reason why that is because since they're scaling off arcane and you invest more points into arcane, you will be getting a harder hitting weapon as opposed to you investing more points into dexterity. So if you notice my character stats here, I have a high dexterity build right here. Now, I would benefit more if I were going to the blood loss buildup, if I would put more blood buildup here, because I am scaling off of dexterity as opposed to me going to occult. But if I wanted to get, say I'm running this character and I want to make sure that my weapon is doing the most damage, I would want to reverse what I have right now. I would take the 50 points I have into dexterity and switch them over to arcane and run this weapon in occult because this weapon already has blood loss buildup. So in order for me to make sure this weapon hits hard, then I want to make sure that I'm running the occult infinity, that I'm scaling off arcane. And so my 50 points that I have in dexterity, I would definitely transfer them over to arcane, allowing this weapon to hit harder. Now, why is that? Because generally speaking, weapons that have a occult infinity will input a harder hitting weapon on raw physical output, but they will be hindered because they have 20 to 25 less blood buildup when compared to the same weapon that actually has the blood infusion. So if you want to get more blood buildup, then you're going to go with the blood affinity. If you want to do more damage and hit harder, then you're going to want to make sure you go with the occult affinity, and you also want to make sure that you're scaling off arcane. Now, curiously speaking, blood damage scales with arcane, and occult affinity tends to increase the blood buildup in some weapons. That's why it's really important that you understand how it works, so you can know what weapons will benefit from you guys going the occult route and going to the blood buildup run. Now, if there is a weapon that already has occult affinity, it cannot be buffed with any spells. So if you guys want to determine how and what weapon you should pick, you basically want to choose between blood and occult based on what scales better with your stats and creates more blood buildup. Because remember, the more blood buildup that you're doing, the more damage that you're outputting. Now remember, your stats are always going to be allowing you to interchange them or change them differently. So if there's a particular weapon that you like and you're able to apply, have already bloodlust, and the bloodlust already comes with the weapon, move over, change it to occult, spend more points into arcane, and check the damage that that weapon is outputting. Theoretically, it should output more damage, because not only are you scaling off of arcane, but you're also going to be doing a little bit more physical damage because you're doing it with occult. So the rule of thumb basically falls down: if a weapon scales with arcane and the weapon actually comes with blood buildup or poison status effect, make it into occult so you will get the bonuses of those effects. It won't make the bleed or poison do more damage, but it will trigger those effects faster in fewer strikes. And remember, the faster we're able to get the blood buildup, the more damage we'll be able to do, especially if you're running a blood build, because that's going to allow us to get that blood build proc very easily. Now, here's a quick tip I want to give you guys. If you do run seppuku, which is what a lot of people run when they're running blood buildups, it's better to run the weapon with occult over blood. That's because the blood weapon enhancement overrides the weapon's bleed effect, so it's better to go with the more damage from arcane scaling than you get from the occult status effect. So I hope this kind of clears up the confusion of which one's better and what weapon you should pick depending on what affinity you want to go with. So guys, once again, rule of thumb: if a weapon already comes with poison or blood, pick occult and spend more points into arcane. Now, if a weapon does not come with the blood affinity and you want to apply the blood affinity to that specific weapon, remember, arcane is not going to make you do more damage with that weapon, but it's going to allow you to cross that blood buildup even faster. So if the weapon's already a hard-hitting weapon and you apply the blood buildup, you're just going to be able to proc it a lot quicker. So I hope this clears up a little bit of the misconception or confusion that you may have with which one you should go with or which one is better. If this video did help you guys, let me know in the comment section below, or if you have any other additional questions regarding this particular topic, also let me know in the comment section below. I hope you guys are enjoying our Elden Ring content. If you are, do make sure you guys drop a comment, drop a like, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel, turn on all your notifications so you guys won't miss when our videos go live. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.